Hello, my name is ESG, and today we're going to answer the age-old question: is it better to build infrastructure earlier with Germany, or is it better to just straight up civilian factories? So let's get into the build here. I am going to be testing both playthroughs, and I'm not going to be doing things like involving myself in the foreign wars. I'm just going to build industrial research, and I'm going to go down the focus tree. As I showed you in my last guide, there was a strict focus tree research guide for Germany, and we'll see the results. Do I get more civs? Do I get more mills? Which method is better? So the theory behind this is that if I build in the 60 slot areas of Germany here that has the most slots, then that will net me more mills and more military equipment, thus being better. Now, the thing that I think we're sleeping on here is the fact that as Germany, you're rubber constrained, so you have to build refineries. So that's going to be totally out of any military equipment, civ ramp calculation. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind. The other thing is we're going to be switching economies. I usually switch to war economy, early 37, something like that, late 36. You'll see in the video. And we're going to get diverted bomber production from Yugoslavia, that event. And we're also going to have another few things that you're going to see that are going to affect your civ count as we go through the build here. So let's see what's better. You guys decide. Here we go. Okay, so because of the new DLC, I can't roll back my old versions of the games or my and use my old playthroughs. I can't figure out a way to do that. So if you guys know how, go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. As you can see, I'm going through the tech tree here. I'm going to use my tech juggling strategy. That's going to boost our industrial research and give us more slots on the 80% infrastructure areas. Okay, I'm going to build 3 infrastructure in the highest 60% areas, as has been suggested on other videos. So those are the 3 areas that we're going to build infrastructure in because they have the most slots to build into. Therefore, if I have a higher infrastructure, then I'm going to garner more benefits from constructing in those areas. So I'll build faster in those areas. And here we go. We leave the Reichsautobahn area open for the refineries, and we build civilian factories and all the other 80% infrastructure slots. I'm just going to be putting mills on guns, and then I'll infinitely build destroyers there at the bottom. And then the only other thing that I need to do here is to meet the requirements of Anschluss as well as Danziger War. I just need to get as many troops out as possible. So as you can see here, I'm using my tech juggling strategy, and we're going to start swapping electronic mechanical engineering and putting 30 days on that. Then we'll put 30 days on basic machine tools, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put about like 23, 24 days onto construction 1. Now, I'm not going to build past construction 1 in either of these 2 playthroughs. I'm pretending like this is an AI game. I only build construction 2 for multiplayer games. I don't think you need past construction 1 for AI games. I don't think it really makes a difference. We go immediately for concentrated industry as well as improved machine tools, and that's so that we don't waste our bonuses that we'll receive from 4-year plan. And then we're going to put all the bonuses from 4-year plan on concentrated industry. And like I said, I'm pretending like it's an AI build. So I'm just going concentrated industry for the purposes of this build. I'll go dispersed industry for multiplayer games. And the goal here is to get war support over 50% so that we're going to be able to get war economy. The other thing that I did here is I went Bormann a little late at 200 political power. I'll go ahead and switch to Bormann after I get 200 political power on the second playthrough. So as we go through this, we get concentrated industry 2, and then we'll get concentrated industry 3, and then we're going to go ahead and continue building in those higher infrastructure slots. And then later, I'm going to have to build mills into the 3 areas that are now 80% infrastructure slots. So that's kind of nice. We'll see how this build works out. All right, in September 22nd of 1937, we're going to switch from civs to mills. In mid-October, we're going to start building refineries just because that's kind of the sweet spot where one of the mills came out, and it was a good spot to then transition into refineries. I'm going to be building refineries in all the Reichsautobahn areas, as well as the high infrastructure areas in Memel in Austria. The difference between these two builds is, for whatever reason, some RNG reason, I got 100% infrastructure areas in Austria. So as we go through here, note that after you get Beta Czechoslovakia, you get two 80% infrastructure areas that you could build mills in. Yeah, and then when you get all of Czechoslovakia, you're going to get another 80% area to build mills in. And then all we're going to do with the second part of this build is simply do the exact same thing, except don't build the infrastructure. And here are the results. So I went through, I did everything the exact same, except for those two 100 infrastructure areas that I got in the second round without building infrastructure, which may have benefited me a bit churning out mills because I'm able to go through all the refineries quicker. And as you can see here, without building the infrastructure, I got 107 military factories and 102 civilian factories. Fast forward to the first playthrough where I built infrastructure, I got 109 military factories, but only 93 civilian factories. This is something to ponder here. Do you want more civilian factories, knowing that you're going to take out France and the Low Countries, and you're going to be handed a bunch of mills all of a sudden, and then most likely you're going to put that into fighter production, or do you want more milk? And I think my answer would be, it doesn't really matter that much. I think the biggest constraint is rubber production. So I would rather take the civilian factories, probably in an AI game and probably in a multiplayer game, because in both cases, building refineries is going to be my biggest constraint. And I'm going to be building those refineries in the 100 infrastructure areas. I'll probably integrate Alsace-Lorraine too, which should give us 100% infrastructure areas to build more refineries in. So I think I would rather go with the extra civilian factories rather than the two military factories at this point. I think that the extra civilian factories will definitely churn out an extra refinery or two for you over time, and that's the way to go. So that's the results of my testing, and I hope it makes sense to you. You could go with the two military factories, as you will most likely be able to build more military factories later. However, what are you going to do with them if you have no rubber? If you guys learned something today, please leave me a like and subscribe. I do Hearts of Iron 4 guide videos like this all the time. If you guys want longer playthroughs, consider becoming a channel member. I post the full playthrough for my channel members whenever I do a playthrough guide of a country. All right, guys, see you on the next one.